What if I told you that some of the most popular cars on the market are practically ticking time bombs? Imagine buying a brand new SUV or truck, thinking you're set for years only to have the engine collapse before you even hit 50,000 miles. It sounds unbelievable, but the truth is, major automakers are selling vehicles with shocking flaws. Today we're exposing 9 cars that mechanics and frustrated owners say you should avoid at all costs. Nissan Rogue. On the surface, the Nissan Rogue looks like a safe bet, compact, stylish, and one of the company's best sellers. But under the hood hides a nightmare. The latest 3-cylinder turbocharged engine has been failing at alarmingly low mileage. Some drivers report catastrophic breakdowns before 60,000 miles, with dealerships quietly replacing engines under warranty. The kicker? Those who are out of warranty are left staring at a $10,000 repair bill. What's even more concerning are the rumors that Nissan has offered NDAs to owners, agreements that silence complaints in exchange for covered repairs. When a company is paying to keep problems under wraps, that should raise every red flag. But Nissan isn't the only brand disguising issues with a fancy badge. Infiniti QX50. Infiniti markets itself as a luxury brand, but the QX50 shows just how misleading that image can be. Beneath the sleek design, this SUV shares critical parts with cheaper Nissan models, including the same problem-prone variable compression engine. Owners expecting high-end reliability often find themselves fighting the same issues as Rogue drivers: sudden engine failures, expensive repairs, and a shocking lack of accountability. It's one thing to pay for a budget SUV and get headaches, but paying luxury prices for the same defects feels like betrayal. And when resale value crumbles because word spreads about reliability, that's a double loss. And speaking of betrayal, Ford has managed to disappoint loyal fans with a much-hyped model. Ford Bronco Sport. The Bronco Sport launched with excitement, promising rugged adventure in a smaller package. What customers got instead was a dangerous defect hiding inside the fuel system. Cracking fuel injectors not only shut down engines, but also posed a serious fire risk. The situation grew so dire that the NHTSA launched an investigation, and Ford recalled over 500,000 vehicles. Think about that. 500,000 cars recalled because they could literally go up in flames. For families buying the Bronco Sport as a daily driver, this wasn't just inconvenient, it was terrifying. And yet Ford continues to market it as a dependable off-road crossover. And the story gets worse when we look at a minivan that was supposed to lead the charge into eco-friendly family driving. Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. When Chrysler rolled out the Pacifica Hybrid, it was praised as the future of family transport. Spacious, efficient, environmentally friendly, it checked all the boxes. But soon after, reports of sudden power loss and battery fires started rolling in. Owners found their vans shutting down without warning, sometimes in the middle of traffic. The hybrid system, instead of being a strength, became a liability. Resale values plummeted as word spread, leaving families trapped with vehicles no one wanted to buy. For a car aimed squarely at safety-conscious parents, nothing feels more like betrayal than your eco-friendly minivan, leaving you stranded with kids in the back. And Chrysler wasn't the only brand rushing hybrid tech to market with disastrous results. Jeep 4xe models. Jeep jumped into electrification with the Wrangler 4xe and Grand Cherokee 4xe, promising legendary off-road performance with hybrid efficiency. The reality? Endless trouble. Owners complain of battery failures, charging problems, and drivetrains that simply don't deliver. In cold weather, some 4xe models refuse to start altogether. Instead of proving that hybrids can be rugged, Jeep proved how poorly these systems were tested. Lawsuits have piled up, with angry owners demanding answers. And while Jeep advertises freedom and adventure, many drivers found themselves stuck at dealerships for months waiting on parts. Not exactly the lifestyle they signed up for. But if you think only hybrids are at risk, wait until you hear how GM's best-selling trucks are falling apart. Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra. For decades, the Silverado and Sierra have been staples of American roads. But in their push for better fuel efficiency, GM introduced cylinder deactivation technology, a system designed to shut down engine cylinders when not needed. On paper, it's brilliant. In practice, it's a disaster. Engines are failing left and right as the system wears down components long before their time. Truck owners who rely on these vehicles for work are suddenly facing $8,000 to $12,000 repair bills. Lawsuits have been filed, and forums are flooded with frustrated drivers. When a truck designed for durability can't even make it past 50,000 miles, you know something went terribly wrong. And GM isn't the only company cutting corners while chasing efficiency. Volkswagen Taos. Volkswagen built its reputation on compact cars, but the Taos is a glaring misstep. The engine is so underpowered that drivers call it unsafe for highway merging. Worse, reliability issues pop up early, from faulty sensors to transmission hiccups. In surveys, only 38% of Taos owners said they'd buy it again. That's not just low, it's catastrophic. Compare that to Toyota or Honda SUVs, where loyalty is sky high, and the Taos looks like an embarrassment. For anyone considering one, the smarter move is to steer clear. And while the Taos struggles with power, Ford's attempt at a hybrid truck faces problems of its own. Ford F-150 Hybrid. The regular F-150 is known for being tough, but the hybrid version, it's plagued with glitches. Owners report electrical failures, dead batteries, and even sudden stalling while driving. For a truck marketed as cutting edge, that's the last thing anyone wants to deal with. Repairs are expensive, parts are limited, and frustration is boiling over. To make matters worse, recalls keep piling up. It feels like Ford rushed this truck out to claim bragging rights instead of building something reliable. For those considering an F-150, the standard gas versions are still solid, but the hybrid is proving to be a gamble. At the end of the day, flashy features and bold marketing often hide serious flaws. Automakers chase efficiency, electrification, and style, but too often they sacrifice the one thing drivers truly need: reliability. From engines failing far too early to hybrids shutting down on highways, these 9 vehicles remind us that not all innovation is progress. The question is, would you trade dependability for technology? Or is reliability the one thing you refuse to compromise on?